I may act as a civilized cinephile, but deep inside, I too crave for the cringe. So Raja Saab released in Netflix, and I know I covered this movie before when it came in the theaters, and that experience itself alone was so traumatizing that I promised to myself that I am not going to see this movie again, even if it comes in Netflix with a different cut. But here I am, having no shame whatsoever, and still watching it after it releasing in Netflix. But hear me out, I am not here to see the style or aura farming of Prabhas or the over-sexualized heroines. Three heroines, the two. This time around, I am here just for research purpose and to see the promo cut, the scenes that we talked about before that were cut from the actual movie, the actual engaging scenes, the scenes where we saw Raja Saab, Prabhas in an old outfit, in an old look. Were they in this movie or not? In that Netflix cut or not? And surprisingly, they are. But at what cost? I am telling you the whole summary of the Netflix cut of Raja Saab, the movie. So if you want to know how the whole Raja Saab movie itself was, the link of the review of the movie is here. There is nothing much new to say about it. Everything that needs to be said, I have covered it in this video, and if you watch it, you'll get the whole summary of it. But the changes that needs to be talked about. Since where we saw Prabhas fighting a battalion of people, a battalion of half-naked people, and then Prabhas turning into an old man with swag, with style, holding a cigar and walking upside down the ceiling of the mahal. That scene is included in this Netflix cut. But how? Let me explain. You know the sequence where the second heroine, Nidhi Agarwal, comes into the mahal and suggests Prabhas that she knows a psychologist, she knows a person who may be able to help them, and Boman Irani comes in. So in the theatrical cut, Boman Irani's character got a whole introduction. Who he is, where he works, what kind of patients he has worked with, what are his family members that are linked with him in this movie. There was the whole introduction of him. But in this cut, that whole introduction part is, and we see Boman Irani directly in the mahal. There is no montage of who he is, where he comes from, how he was able to enter in the mahal. Nothing. Then the scene where we saw Boman Irani trying to take Prabhas in a trance and make him meditate or see things or whatsoever, where Sanjay Dutt's character then takes over that trance and shows him some vicious scenes of cutting people's head and gore and violence, and Prabhas scares the shit out of it. And then you get to see that the visuals that Sanjay Dutt showed to Prabhas were actually true. There were three men hanging upside down in the well. And later on, we see a metaphysical or metaphorical fight between Sanjay Dutt's character and Boman Irani's character as well. That scene also is cut off. So in expense of these scenes, basically the expense of Boman Irani's character, later we get to see when the third girl, Riddhi Kumar, comes into the mahal, and all of the three characters, all of the three main actresses, Malvika, Nidhi Agarwal and Riddhi Kumar, confronts Prabhas's character for what he has been doing with them, the manipulation, the gaslighting that he has been doing with them. This is where the change has been made, and we see that all the half-naked men that attacked Prabhas in the trailer actually attacked them here first. The story is the three men that we saw Sanjay Dutt brutally murder in the trance sequence were actually true and actually part of their herd, the half-naked men's herd. Those three half-naked men first tried to get into this mahal, steal the money from the mahal, but Sanjay Dutt's character, alive back then, captured them and brutally killed them and hung them upside down without head, by the way. So this battalion of half-naked men came here to attack on Sanjay Dutt and take the money that there is in the mahal and hopefully kill Sanjay Dutt in the process as well. But the twist is Sanjay Dutt is dead now, and who are going to they take the revenge on? In comes Prabhas and his three girlfriends. So they take them, bondage them, and try to give them the same exact gory execution that Sanjay Dutt gave to their men. But at the end, Prabhas' character somehow manages to break free and break into a room that was forbidden for him to enter, and while he enters the room, the soul of Sanjay Dutt himself enters into Prabhas. So basically, the old man Prabhas that we saw in the trailer, holding a cigar, walking upside down, was basically Prabhas himself, puppeted by the soul of Sanjay Dutt. And then we see the action sequences that we saw in the trailer, the upside down, blah blah blah, and then he saves the three actresses, and then they transition into the song. That's it. That was the whole difference of the Netflix cut from the theatrical cut of the movie. So my verdict after seeing the whole Netflix cut of the movie is it's still a pile of shit. I still don't understand how Mr. Maruti, the director of the movie, decided to invest 400, not decided to, managed to convince producers, investor to invest 400 crore in this movie, where everything is taken from something or something else. Prabhas turns into Captain Marvel, Sanjay Dutt turns into the Norwegian movie troll, and the actresses turns into inconsequential props. The whole story going from amnesia, lack of memory, searching grandfather, to hypnotism, black magic, to history of the ancestors who were rich, then turned poor, to this and that, and at the end of all of it, Prabhas turns into a superhero. This, as I said, is what I think Prabhas's fantasy of Prabhas, where he wanted to play a superhero, and Mr. Maruti said, "You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to do whatever it takes." And we have heard from Prabhas's interview as well that he didn't even predict how big this movie was turning out to be from the initial pitch. So yeah, this is the same dog pile of shit packaged into a new form, but still it's the dog pile of shit. And you might be asking me, why am I watching this movie despite there being some very good movies that are coming out in this weekend and previous weekend as well, and some shit movies also coming out in this weekend? The easy answer is I crave cringe. No matter how much sophisticated I try to act, there is a thing for cringe in me. It is that one thing that gives me dopamine boost. And nindaras or roasting some poor pile of garbage shit like this gives me happiness, a little joy. So if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Please do. It helps the channel. Comment down below how you felt about the movie, or what movie you want me to see. What are your different ideas about this channel? And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to Omlan Rexo. Please subscribe.